Hello, happy Monday and welcome back to another weekly vlog. It is Monday, June 16th. I'm sitting at the kitchen table getting some work done. My mom just took Lila a little bit ago, which is our typical Monday routines. I feel like I've mentioned that a million times, but like I have an almost 2-year-old. Can I say that? She's getting pretty close. It feels like she's pretty close. So Mondays, she's with my mom. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, she's at daycare. I try to get all my work done in those 3 days. And then Thursday, Friday, she's with me and we do activities and fun things and all that jazz. And today, I feel like I've already lived 17 lives and it's 10:07 a.m. So I woke up super early. I did not sleep well last night. I think we had dessert. We had a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. I'll pop up a few pictures here. We just spent the day as a family of 3. It was so nice. We went to the Museum of Ice Cream, which was super fun for everybody. Lila loved the sprinkle pool and we had lots of ice cream and it was so fun. And then we went to lunch, came home, all of us took a nap, an afternoon nap. And then we just kind of hung out. We ordered dinner, we ordered dessert. And I think having dessert that late at night, kind of impacted my sleep. That and my brain trying to process all the things I need to do this week. So it is housewarming week, which I'm so excited about. I cannot believe that there was a world that I thought doing it this past weekend was a good idea. I was like, oh, we'll just do it the weekend after the wedding. We'll do it. It's Father's Day weekend, but most people just celebrate Sunday, so we'll do it Saturday. No, I'm very glad that I had last week to recover from the wedding, this weekend to do a bunch of house projects. I mean, I did a lot in the last weekly vlog. I showed a lot of those house projects. I'm trying to think what I actually did over the weekend. Maybe I organized a few things, but not any big projects. And then this week to finish it all up, I'm just so glad that I have that extra week. So I got up super early. Today's definitely gonna be a second cup of coffee day, but I spent the morning just getting all the ideas out of my head. I started with just a brain dump on my computer, in a Word doc, a brain dump of all the things I wanted to do this week. Everything from house projects, cleaning, party prep, what else was on there? I don't even know. There's a lot of stuff. Then I took that and I organized it by day. What was I gonna do each day of the week? And then I plotted, I'll take you upstairs and show you my weekly plan that I made. So you can see kind of what I've got going on this week. I minimize a little bit of work stuff. I do still have work I need to do this week. I just finished editing this week's podcast episode, but I took out some extra work projects in order to prioritize. And if I have extra time at the end of the week, I will get to those. But I know for myself, I will feel better if I prioritize the house stuff and the party stuff first and then tackle the work stuff later. So let's go to the plan. Okay, so here's the plan. Also, I know I talked about this in the vlog, but I love my magnetic board. Here's kind of what it's got right now. So it's got my quarterly personal goals, quarterly business goals, monthly personal, one of Lila's little projects from school, all of the fun photo booth photos from the wedding, something from Lila's ballet school, and then Old Navy cash for next time, and then my weekly plan. So a couple things this week. I am taking instead of trying to work out in the morning, I am going to kind of pivot a little bit and do work in the morning and capitalize on my morning energy. And then I'm taking 2 in-person workout classes this week at the gym that I recently joined. I can't remember if I mentioned that in a vlog. I think I did. Anyway, so as always, my weekly plan is color coordinated. The teal is personal stuff and the green is work stuff. The squares are things that are actually scheduled, and then the little dots, what's the word? Word am I looking for there? Y'all, I feel like I'm already struggling again. It's only 10 a.m. And then obviously there's a lot of other stuff that needs to happen today. So today I've got a handful of work things and then a bunch of personal stuff. Some of these are little tiny things. Some of them are a little bit bigger, going to Trader Joe's, baking the cookies for the party, organizing toys. I'm actually kind of excited to tackle that project. And then we will take the week as it comes. I'm planning to hopefully vlogging. I almost said vlogging Charlie. That's not right. I am planning, hopefully going to vlog through Saturday morning. So you can kind of see all the prep for the party. And then I forgot, I'm also working Sunday this weekend for the quarterly goals refresh call. So a lot going on this week. Step 1 is, what is the order here? What am I gonna do in these orders? I think what I'm gonna do is actually start with the cookies, get in the kitchen, get those made, and then I can meal plan while I'm in the kitchen, kind of think about it, look at the cookbooks, etc. Then maybe get to the work and go to Trader Joe's then when I need a break. I feel like I could sit here all day and think about the best order to do these things in, or really I just need to pick one and get started. So cookies. Okay, change of plans already. I went to make the cookies and I realized that I am already missing two things. Well, one, I'm missing. I don't have enough butter. And then I don't know if there's enough sugar. Like I could measure it out and see. But I guess I didn't realize that when I usually get butter at Costco, so it's such a good deal, but I need to get the cookies made. So anyway, after making all the cookies for the rehearsal dinner, I am low on ingredients. Normally I just have everything on hand that I need to make the cookies. So I decided to go ahead and get meal planned first, and then I'm gonna get to Trader Joe's. So the plan this week, I planned 3 dishes. One is a meal I have talked about before. I will link it. It's like sausage, sweet potato, beans. It's like a 1-pot meal. It's super easy. We've made a slight adjustment. The recipe does call for salsa, and Sam doesn't eat tomatoes, and so we have switched it for like an Asian style sauce, and that's typically how I make it. And then the other thing I'm gonna make this week is salmon. So this cookbook is the Trader Joe's cookbook, and so I'm gonna get salmon and all the stuff that goes with that, and then I'm just gonna do some rice and some asparagus on the side. And then for the third meal, I'm gonna get something from the frozen section. I will definitely cook dinner Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, I have an event I'm gonna be at. And then it's possible that I will cook another meal Thursday, but I want it to be something that can be in the freezer. That way, I have like 2 options. I'm gonna look and see what they've got. But that way, if we get to Thursday, if we have a lot of leftovers or I just am not feeling up for it, then it's not something that's gonna go bad. That's what I've learned about myself and cooking. So, grocery list is made. I don't know why we are still the people that use this kind of grocery list. I just love it. I love that it like lives on the fridge and we can easily just make the list. Sam typically does the grocery shopping. I know I've mentioned that before, but yesterday was Father's Day, so we did not send him to the grocery store. I told him I would go today. So that is what I'm gonna go do first, and then get back and make the cookies once I have all the ingredients I need. Okay, let me quickly show you what I got from Trader Joe's. Also, it is already getting very warm outside, so maybe it is for the best that I already got this done now, because I'm already hot and it's only gonna get hotter. So a couple staples in our house: milk, coffee. They have not had the cold brew concentrate in a long time again, and shredded cheese. This is the frozen meal that I ended up going with: shrimp, Asian style veggies, and vegetable fried rice. Then this is all the stuff for that go-to recipe I referenced: sausage, black beans, spinach, and sweet potatoes. And then the salmon recipe, we have rice to go with that. Ginger, it called for this. I probably could have just used like honey or something. We had it at home, but I'm excited to try this. And then this is kind of like the star of the recipe, which I'm excited to try this too. I got some cold cuts. We have leftover bread from something, and so we don't just like eat toast or anything in our house. So I got cheese and turkey to go with the bread. Cookie stuff, asparagus to go with the salmon dish. This is another staple that we keep in our freezer that we are almost out of. This is another thing that I have been loving from Trader Joe's that I got for the bachelorette party, and then have been loving them ever since, and just used my last couple yesterday. So I decided to grab another batch of those. Bananas, relatively green ones, because we still have a couple good bananas, but we all love bananas. So we go through those pretty quickly. Salt, we're almost out of salt. And then a snack. I really can't leave Trader Joe's without a snack. So that is what I grabbed. Okay, time to put this away and maybe lean in, or maybe fight the urge to tidy the fridge. Probably I'm gonna lean into that and then get to the cookies with my snack. Okay, housewarming party cookies are done. I have, well, technically 3 new designs, although I already owned one of these cookie cutters. So the one that you've seen before is the champagne bottles. I've done those a lot of times. This is a design that I came with a set, like when I bought a set for something else, it was in there, but I've never done it before. My plan for this is to actually put our address on it. So I obviously won't be sharing the final product with I'm not gonna put the street, but I'm gonna put like the number of our address. And then I bought a set on Amazon of keys and houses. And so the keys are super cute, and they're about the same size as the champagne bottle. So I feel like aesthetically that will look nice. I know I've mentioned this before, but I feel like the best design, or for me, the best set is when I have 4 designs. I feel like it keeps me from getting bored when I'm working on them. And I feel like it just looks really nice on a plate, especially if I have designs where I can do 2 colors. So for these, I'm gonna do blue with white writing and white with blue writing. And then the houses. Now the houses are super cute, but they are ginormous. Nobody is gonna wanna eat a cookie that size. So I kind of stopped making as many houses, so the number of houses is not obviously proportionate because they're just ginormous. I'm like, who's gonna want to eat those? So they're really just gonna look nice on the plate. But my plan, same thing, I'm gonna do some blue and some white, and then I'm gonna put an S for Strum, which is our last name, in there. And that is the plan. Some of these turned out a little wonky. I was talking to my dad, and by the time I get to like the third rollout of the dough has gotten a lot softer. And when I'm being patient, I put it back in the fridge. And then the other thing is I let them cook a little bit longer than I typically do. So these, you can see like the middle chunk here is looking a little bit funky, but it's fine. It'll look better once it's got frosting on it. Okay. It is a lot later than I want it to be, given where I'm at on my list. I feel like 2 weeks ago in a vlog, I was like, oh, I got everything done. It took way less time. And that is not the case today. I've gotten a lot done today, but I still have a lot of things on my list, and there's no chance I'm going to get to all of them. So it is time for me to prioritize. I have already decided one work thing I'm going to go ahead and move to later this week, because that's not a priority right now. And so hopefully something later this week will take less time. And if I don't get to that work thing this week, it's okay too. It can happen next week. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do one house project, and then I'm gonna clean Lila's room, and then I'm gonna start the toy project. I may regret saying that, because I do think the toy project is best done when Lila's not here, but it also could be done while she's here, because I'm basically, let me explain really quick. We now have toys. I really wanna be the mom that swaps out toys. And I think I mentioned that in a video. I don't think that's in the cards for our family right now. So what I want to do is reassess the toys, figure out what she actually still plays with, box up what she doesn't. I have actually still a box of toys that she did play with in the old house that I never opened. She may still love some of those. And then I want to put things in the different places in the house that makes sense. So we have toys in 3 places in our house. We have a couple up here on this floor that she plays with while I get ready. And if I don't keep good toys up here for that, then she likes to play with my makeup brushes, or she likes to take apart all the sticky notes, and that's fine too, but really I'd like some toys up here for her to play. Then we have some on the living room floor, and that is when we are either eating and she's done and so she wants to go play, or we're on that level for some other reason. Sometimes it's when I'm cooking. Usually if I'm in the kitchen, she wants to be in there with me. That might change someday when we open up the kitchen. But anyways, reassess. The problem with the toy thing on that floor is it also becomes the catch-all when I'm tidying that level. If any toy or really anything of Lila's ends up on that level, I throw it in there. So it's a mess in there. She probably doesn't even want to go in there because it's a disaster. And then everything else is in the basement. And then I also want to reassess books. I feel like books, some of the nighttime books have ended up downstairs, and I don't know about you, I don't like to read the going to bed book in the middle of the afternoon. I know she doesn't care, but I would like the going to bed book to be back up here on this floor. So I am going to reassess all that. So I think what I'm going to do is, if I can get all the toys downstairs before she gets home, and then while she's playing, I can start to kind of sort and organize things a little bit down there and just kind of make sense of what we've got. And then I could finish putting things in their homes tomorrow. So I think that's my plan. Let's go do this one small, it will likely take me 5 minutes, house project. If you recall, in last week's weekly vlog, I said that this room was done. Turns out that was a lie. When I went to update the house project list, I realized there was one small thing I had on this list, super easy and small, and just something that I needed to buy, but wasn't that expensive, and that is swapping out the handles. So I got this vanity from Home Depot. Well, my contractor picked it up, but I picked it out, and it was perfect for it, exactly what I wanted in terms of size and the top and the wood color and all the things, except the handles are silver and everything else I did was gold. Well, that is a super duper easy fix. I ordered these from Amazon. Of course, the irony is I needed 3 handles. Basically every kind of handle I looked at came in sets of 2, 5, 10. So here we are for 5, because buying the 2, I think 2 was $10. So then if I bought 4, it would have been 20, and I think 5 was 15 or something like that. It made more sense to get 5 instead of 4, even though I'm only gonna use 3. I'm gonna have extra ones. But this should be a super quick and easy job to just swap out these handles for gold. Okay, now this room is done. Now I don't have anything else on this list that I want to do. And the total overall house list, everything on the powder bath is checked off. Yay. Okay, progress on the toy project. I took all the toys out of here, which feels really good. And this needs a really good wipe down.
Although I'm also thinking about moving this for the housewarming party and just having like kids and toys in the basement only. And then this floor, I could like put something here. I'm thinking of, my mom has a rectangle table I could borrow and put, sorry, I feel like it's not a vlog if I'm not out of breath at some point. My mom has a table I can borrow and I might put drinks here is what I'm thinking, but I won't do that until later in the week. It's only Monday, like, and the party is not till Saturday. But I also thought of another place that there are toys that need a refresh, which is the diaper bag, but that is at my mom's house, which is fine. So I'm gonna give this a good wipe down. For sure, the little people barn is gonna stay up here. And then this is a little, we bought this when Lila was so little to contain little baby toys on our ottoman in our old house, but this is gonna be for books on this level. But again, I think also just a shuffling of the books that are here, the books that are in the diaper bag, the books that are upstairs, like having different books in different places is good. My girl loves a book, but I think switching up the books is helpful. So I'm not taking that downstairs for my, what do I call it? My assessment of toys, because I know it's gonna stay up here. And then here's the pile that I am gonna get down to the basement to include in my assessment. This is everything that was in that bucket. Was a disaster. This is not even Lila's, this is Sam's. This is his childhood dog that I got him a stuffy of years ago as a gift.
Good morning, it is Wednesday. Yesterday was not a great day. It felt like it was one thing after the other, and I was just like in a mood funk the whole day. I slept funny, so I woke up and my back was bothering me, it still is. So then I turned off my alarm and like went to sleep, back to sleep, knowing that like what I was planning to do in the morning was gonna have to get pushed, which was gonna like throw off the whole day. And then when I woke up again, I had an awful headache. Turns out, hi Charlie just knocked the camera. Turns out the dust levels were at like extremely high. I use an allergy app to check. I have an extreme dust allergy and it was rough. So that wasn't good. And then it was like, so what I powered through, got ready for the day, got Lila up, started to leave to walk to daycare, and it was like already 92 degrees on our walk to daycare in the morning. No kitty, that's my coffee. And that just like drained me. It just took everything out of me. I got home from the walk and was like, first off, I'm not going to this workout class at 10 that I had planned because I need to work, and I just already feel like every inch of energy is drained from me, and my back hurts, my head hurts, and it was just like, it just felt like it was one thing after the other, and I was just like in a mood the whole day, and it never really went away. And I was like, I'm just ready to go to bed and start fresh today, even though it was supposed to rain the entire day. And my mom and I are going to Costco today. I'm gonna power through. And so I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna start my day off with one project. I know I can hang this mirror. The mirror for the entryway arrived yesterday. I can check this off and it's gonna feel good. And then I had another snack. Let me show you.
Okay, so first off, here's the mirror. Yay. Gold, just gold circle. Beautiful. Easy. 2 wall mounts and screws, like, can handle this. Measured all out, drew my 2 little dots, and then went to screw in went to make the hole for the wall mount. And I hit, oops, now I'm throwing things. And it wouldn't go all the way through. That's about as far as it goes. I am pretty sure I hit the air duct. Like, there's the vent. I think it goes down. I don't, like, that's what it sounds like when I like poke at it. It sounds like, you know what I mean? So, now I have this big hole in my wall, and I don't know how I'm ever gonna hang this mirror. So, I am just going to leave this here until my mom comes over. I'm gonna get her opinion. My mom is also a very, very handy woman. If she doesn't know, then we'll go from there. But I am super frustrated. Okay, it is now pouring outside, but my mom and I did luck out and we got a break in the rain and we ran to Costco, got everything, and then we actually went and took a yoga class. We've been talking about going to a yoga class together for a very long time, and things kept happening. The wedding, one of us was hurt, one of us was not feeling well, whatever, and we finally just prioritized it, and it was really nice. Like, that was really nice. I'm glad we did that. And now I'm home, I am starving. So I'm gonna have some lunch, and then I think I'm going to make icing before I shower. I have an event tonight, so I do want to shower and wash my hair and like make sure it has time to dry. I'm already kind of pushing it. My hair is very thick. It takes forever to dry. Yes, I own a blow dryer. Yes, I hate blow drying my hair, so it's probably not going to be it. It's going to be an air dry. But whenever I make icing for the cookies, I get it on myself.
I make a mess, I get it on me. So that is what I'm gonna do first. I'm gonna make some lunch and make the icing, and then I'm going to get my shower in. Maybe after my shower, I'll show you what we got at Costco, but I also have some work I need to get done. I will at some point end up showing you what we got at Costco because I will show you the setup for the party. So that may not end up happening like today, even though I went to Costco today. Also, I had my mom look at the mirror situation, and her suggestion is to get butterfly clips. Basically what I'm gonna do, I walked over here as if I was gonna like be able to lift the mirror and show it to you with one hand. Like that's not gonna happen. I'm not that strong. So what I'm gonna do, which this is a project I did really wanna have done before the housewarming, but now it's turning into a lot more of an effort that I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able, why is it so yellow now? To prioritize before, we'll see. So when I put the little guy in there, this is about how much it goes in. So if I can get a butterfly one that is this short, then it should, in theory, it should work. So I'm gonna go to Home Depot, not today because it's boring and I have a million other things to do today. And it's one of those things that I have to prioritize, right? Like going to Costco was a must do for the party. Getting the mirror hung, sorry this is so yellow. I'm sorry this light is awful. I was showing Sam the list of like things we'd like to do, and some of them are more important than others, some of them are more expensive than others, and one of the less expensive but also less important category ones is this light in this entryway. Anyway, getting the mirror hung on this wall is something I did really want to do, but from a priority standpoint compared to some of the other party items, it is not as big of a priority. So if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But tomorrow we have ballet in the morning, and then we're gonna go to Aldi because one of the things I always make for parties is queso, and the best place to buy off-brand Aldi brand Velveeta for queso is Aldi. Compared to the cost of Velveeta, it's like a quarter of the cost. So pretty much always have to make a stop at Aldi, and it's close. Well, it's not close to ballet, it's close to swim. Why did I plan it that way? I wonder if my brain was not operating. Whatever, that's still the plan. We're going to Aldi tomorrow. Maybe when we get home from Aldi, depending on how long that takes, if we have time before Lila's nap, Lila and I can walk over to Home Depot, see what they've got, and potentially get the right amount that will work. Okay, I'm procrastinating all the things I have to do.
All right, frosting is done. I can't remember if I said this in the vlog. I originally wasn't gonna make cookies for the housewarming. I was trying to keep things simple, but ultimately I decided I've been making cookies for so many other people's events that like, I wanna make one for my own. So, I know I showed you the actual cookies earlier. So the yellow is actually just gonna get fully painted gold on the keys. This is just for the keys, a thick and a thin for the keys. And then I'm doing just blue and white. I did keep it simple instead of, I contemplated a third color. I mean, there are a third like dyed color. I don't have to do anything to the white, but ultimately decided to just not worry about it. And I did decide that the one thing I am keeping simple for the party is drinks. So we are doing just beer and wine and seltzers and water, and not like normally I would make like a punch or a cocktail of some kind. So yes, cookies, no to cocktail.
Good morning, it is Friday. I didn't end up vlogging yesterday. Sorry, I'm not ready to show you my face yet. I literally just woke up, still in my pajamas. And I didn't end up vlogging yesterday. It was mostly just a mom day. We got up, I took Lila to ballet. We did run to Aldi for the party. I do love Aldi, man, their prices are freaking amazing. But it's a little too far to justify for a regular grocery store. We do need to borrow my mom's car in order to go. And that I'm not gonna just do that on a regular basis, but I almost always make it a point to go for party stuff. Like I go to Costco and then I go to Aldi, and then if there is anything else, like the one other thing on my list for a recipe that I need that I couldn't get at either of those places is basil. That's the only thing. I was able to get everything else I needed at Costco and Aldi, and like that makes me feel really good from a cost standpoint. So we did that, and I'm gonna show you all the food and stuff either later today or tomorrow as we get to it. And then the only other party prep thing I did yesterday was I did cookies during Lila's nap. Otherwise, it was mostly mom life. So what that means is today and tomorrow there's a lot to get done for the party. And the good news is that my mom, it kind of works out. We actually have a show tonight. So I know I've mentioned this before. My husband and I are huge Broadway fans. We have Broadway and Chicago season tickets. And so to some extent, you don't get control over the dates that get that you get tickets. Now, that said, we just got our tickets for the fall, and one of our shows, we always have Friday nights. That's like, you pick your day of the week, and the better the day, the more expensive it is. So it's like, you can do Tuesday, Wednesday for one price, Thursday, Friday for one price. I think I don't know if the whole weekend is all the same price. It doesn't matter. We chose Friday nights. In October, Halloween is a Friday night. And so we had a show on Halloween, and I called them and I was like, what is the process? We have not yet, until that moment, I don't know why I just knocked on marble, had to change ticket. Like, we've been able to make it work every single time. We haven't had a wedding. We haven't had any conflicts until that one. And I was like, I'm not going to see Sound of Music on Halloween. They were so flexible. I was easily able to switch it. So anyway, we have show tickets tonight. And at first my mom was like, well, why are you hosting a party the day after you have a show? And I'm like, because you will have my child. So it actually works out really well because Lila stays at my mom's on show nights. So she will take her this afternoon, like right before her nap. And so I have from her nap until the show at the house by myself. And Sam will still be working. And then in the morning, she'll be at my mom's. And my mom's not going to bring her back until like late morning. So I have lots of time. And then at that point, I will have Sam's help on Saturday morning. So that is really helpful. I'm really excited to have like some uninterrupted time here at the house in order to get stuff set up. So here is what I'm thinking in terms of a to-do list. I'm thinking, and this is not going to be perfect. I used to, if I was making a to-do list like this, I would for sure be grabbing a ruler, but I don't have time for a ruler today. So the way that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do one section of all the places I have to clean. I'm going to do one section of other. So these are like, I have a handful of non-party related to-dos that I need to get to today or tomorrow. And then I'm going to break up Friday and Saturday into some specific things. So like this is going to be especially for some like certain cooking type things. And then also some like setup things, like things I know I can do today versus things that definitely will have to wait until tomorrow. Okay, things that need to get cleaned. There's actually a lot. I don't know where this week has gone. And I don't know, maybe I was just too ambitious. There has definitely been some house projects, I'll tell you, that I've had to let go of. The mirror, gone. I'm not worrying about the mirror. It's going in the unfinished part of the basement until after the party. Both my parents had different suggestions, and I cannot be bothered to figure out. Also, I'm copying this over from a brain dump I did last night. I had to do it before I went to bed, but I was literally sitting in bed and I wasn't worrying about making it pretty. And I was like, I'm just going to get it out of my head tonight, and then I'm going to log it in the morning. Okay, so I did clean most of upstairs, but I need to vacuum upstairs. Also, vacuum is one of those words I struggle to spell. You know how we all have our words? Tell me in the comments. And you can use spell check. What is the one word that you struggle to spell? Vacuum is one of those for me. I can never remember 2 C's, 2 U's, 1 C, I don't know. Okay, I've cleaned upstairs. It's pretty clean, but I haven't vacuumed. And in case anybody does want a tour of the upstairs, I'm gonna clean the stairs. Least favorite part of cleaning this house. Clean the floors on this level. This probably won't happen until much closer to the party. The powder bath, that I'm going to do. A lot of these things on this list are things I couldn't do until Lila had gone to my mom's this afternoon. Sometimes she meanders into the powder bath if we're on this level, and sometimes if she's got a snack with her, I'm not cleaning the powder bath until Lila is gone. The kitchen, but that is actually going to be Sam's. He already said he would clean the kitchen. He has a little bit of time between work and when we have to leave for the show tonight, so that is on his list, but I'm keeping it on my list, so I have it. And then the basement, which again is something I can't do until Lila leaves. Yeah, I mean, most of these I couldn't do until she was gone anyway. Like vacuuming the upstairs, she would either be like in my way or sleep. So that actually, I guess cleaning wise, I did get everything I could get done before Lila left. Okay, in terms of specific party related things that I can check off today, and some of these are quick things and some of these are longer things, but I'm going to tackle these again this afternoon. So I need to paint the cookies. They're basically done, except I want to paint gold on some of them. So I'm going to get those painted and then remind myself to snap a photo. Of course, I'm going to snap a photo for myself, and then I'm going to snap a photo that doesn't have the one with our address in it that I can share on the internet. Okay. Flowers. I need to go get fresh flowers. I haven't decided yet. I do love Trader Joe's flowers. Great price. I don't always love their selection sometimes at our Trader Joe's. I know that Fresh Market, which is another grocery store in our neighborhood, has beautiful flowers, but they are so expensive. We'll see what I decide to do. I'm gonna make brownies. I decided, so some of the food stuff was up in the air depending on what I found at Costco, and like what ended up with the tray situation. I think I talked about that. So I always know I wanted a second dessert, preferably something chocolatey, like for people who don't like these cookies, a la my husband. And Costco's got lots of great, delicious baked good options. But when I was there on, I guess it was Wednesday, a lot of the stuff said sell by today, Friday the 20th. And I was like, okay, so that means on Saturday the 21st, it's not gonna be that delicious. And so I decided I'm not gonna grab those baked goods unless I was coming back to Costco for party trays. Well, I also decided the party trays at Costco weren't worth it. The cost, I don't know. My mom and I just decided that we could make things at a much less expensive with a little bit of effort, but not that much effort. Right, you know, like I'll show you the snacks and trays that we ended up deciding to make. The Costco prices just didn't seem worth it. So because we're not going back to Costco today, I ended up getting brownie mix at Aldi yesterday. And so I'm gonna make those today. I'm gonna hang, I got signs and like a welcome to our new house sign. And then I'm also hanging up a sign so people know in the basement. I'll show it to you in a second. It's cute. I need to wash the high chairs. You guys, they're disgusting. We have 2 high chairs in this house and they're both gross. That way if anybody wants to use them to feed their peanut, they're not grossed out by it. And then some stuff I'm gonna move around in the house. I think I mentioned I'm gonna move the toy thing on this level, and then I'm gonna move Charlie's stuff down to the basement so she can be safe and protected. All right, and then Saturday is mostly just gonna be like putting stuff out. So we need to run to Mariano's, which is where I ordered my balloons from. And by we, I mean, I think the plan is when my mom brings Lila back in the morning, late morning with the car, I'm gonna send Sam with the car to Mariano's to get the balloons and get ice. And then it's mostly just making a bunch of the food stuff. So we're making little caprese skewers, we're making little sandwiches. Another word that I don't know why I struggle to spell. Like, is there an H in there? I don't know. And cutting up some fruit. There's one other thing that we're making that I texted my mom last night after I think she was already in bed, whether she thinks I should make them today or tomorrow. So once she tells me the answer to that, I will add it to its appropriate list. This has a couple personal things too I'm gonna add off camera, and then that is it. That is what I'm gonna get to. So this morning until Lila wakes up, I'm just gonna kind of tidy up from life yesterday so that like I can start fresh in the house when she wakes up. But we'll play for a little bit downstairs, and then we have swim lessons this morning. And then I also need to pack her for my mom's, and then she'll be off to my mom's, and I can start to tackle this list and just show you kind of like the different parts of our house that we're setting up for the party, that's actually the chairs for outside, and all the different food stuff that we've decided to go with. All right, the cookies are done. Here's a final look at how they turned out. I think they turned out super cute. I struggled with the S's a little bit. The blue is a lot thinner, ended up being a lot thinner, so that's why the S looks very different that way. But it's cute. I usually put something on the champagne bottle, like for my sister's bachelorette, I put an L. For my other sister's birthday, I did 25, but I decided just to leave it. The yellow on the key was money. I will tell you, trying to paint the gold without it clumping, but have it cover is really tough. I've always painted the gold on a white, and like that's what I did for the champagne. Forever and ever, I guess not if I have to make a whole separate color. I don't know though, It was worth it because I was able to get like a nice smooth coat on the key without it looking like clumpy, but still looking gold and beautiful. So I really like it. Again, there's a 4th design here that you can't see because it's got my address on it, but it's just like a little cutout shape, and it has our just the numbers of our address on it. I did the same thing with the house. I did white with blue and blue with white. So they turned out super cute. I was watching the new season, it's 128 in case you're curious, of the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders TV show while I was doing that. And then I also, let me show you, in the kitchen, I can't remember how many like tours of the kitchen I've given. So normally our island sits in the middle of the kitchen. Probably seen it in the background before, but for the party, and then normally on the other side is Lila's high chair and Lila's toddler tower. I took those out of this room. The high chair is just gonna go sit in the dining room. So if anybody does need to feed a baby that needs to be in a high chair, we have it. And then the tower I'm just gonna put in the basement. And so we pushed this back, which just
just gives this kitchen, feels like it's got so much more space, but that wouldn't work for us on like a regular basis, but it does feel so nice in here. And then I also got the brownies done. So that is where I'm at so far in terms of progress. I also, while the brownies were cooking, and the cookies were drying, I cleaned the basement, just like tidied up down there. So I'm actually gonna take the Roomba, who I let clean this level while we were at Swim. I'm gonna take her down to the basement and let her tackle the basement. And then I don't know what's next. I think the next step actually is I need to tackle the dishes, like our breakfast dishes and the brownie dishes and whatnot, because normally the dishes, I've mentioned this a gazillion times, but the dishes are my husband's chore. That's like one of his things that he does around the house, is he is always staying on top of the dishes. But when we have above and beyond dishes, like sometimes I need to jump in and help, especially because if I want to move forward in the kitchen with any other steps, like I also have to empty the dishwasher. I need the sink to be clean. So I think that's my next step actually, because I really want to wash this high chair and then wash this thing that goes on top of our stove. So, okay, the basement is done. I'm ready to go. Here's the sign that I made just so that people know that they're welcome to bring food and drink down here, but we would like for them to remove their shoes if they're going to go to the basement. I think I'm going to have Sam, maybe when he goes to get the balloons tomorrow. Whew, sorry, I just ran up the stairs to show you this. Grab 2 more like unblown up balloons that I can put on either side of that. Because they don't need to be helium. Like, so I don't need to pay for them to blow them up. Because the ones I ordered to like kind of decorate around here and to tie to the front gate I have helium going in those, but I think we could just use 2 balloons there. Okay, let's go see the basement. Minus the toy and Rosie on the stairs to go back up. The basement is all done. So I put the nugget here. I understand a very strong toddler could easily knock this over and climb it over. But hopefully it just like deters them from going to this section. Lila knows not to touch any of the stuff. She's very good at it. I understand that's not going to be the case for every kid. So have this blocked off with the nugget, the couch, pulled out the ottoman. We normally keep it in there for coziness, but for company, we decided to pull it out, and then everything else is just good and all clean. All right, and then the last sign that I made is for this room, Charlie's Zone. Hi, sweet girl. It's shut just right now while I'm filming this clip, and then I'll open it for her. Her litter box is always in there. That's just where it lives. And then I moved her food and water down here so that she can go in there, and I'm gonna have the door shut so that people can come in and out, and I'm not worried about where she is or if anybody is allergic, et cetera, et cetera. So that is where Charlie will be hanging out tomorrow, but otherwise, basement is done. What do you think, Char? Okay, that took a lot more out of me than I thought it was going to, and it's still not perfect, and I just have to let it go. But I ended up putting these balloons here. I moved the toy thing. Well, I moved it to right there. I'm gonna need Sam's help to get it up or downstairs, either direction. I don't think actually it's gonna fit downstairs. I think it's gonna run into the same issue that this couch did trying to get down the stairs. I think we can get it up if we lift it over the ledge, but it's super light. But I'm gonna need Sam's help. Obviously, last resort is we take it apart, but I really don't want to do that. So anyway, this is what we ended up with. This is the table I borrowed from my mom. We have non-alcoholic options. This is actually kind of just leftovers from another party that we had. So we have the flavored seltzers from Costco, Sprite and Coke, water, and then I actually got 2 new buckets here that are supposed to arrive today, hopefully, for wine. And then I'm gonna put seltzer down here. And then in this ice chest, which is also new, but my mom talked me into it, thinking that it would be good to like roll to different parks or future games or whatever. She's like, I think investing in an ice chest is not a bad idea. So I did it, and we're gonna put beer in here. So then I'm gonna put 1 set of balloons. I got 3 sets. 1 set is gonna go in this corner. 1 set is going to go outside on, you can't see this on the camera, it's way too blown out, but we have a little pole on the outside of our patio that keeps cars from hitting our patio. And I'm gonna tie balloons to that. And then 1 is gonna go in that corner. 1 set of balloons, the last set over there. So, okay. Now what? I still haven't done the dishes, actually. So that's where I'm headed. I just felt like I needed to I don't know. I needed to get those balloons up. Whatever, this feels good. Next step, dishes. Okay, sorry you can hear the dishwasher going in the background. I just went to Trader Joe's to get flowers. I did let myself stop at Fresh Market. It is so hot outside, y'all. I stopped at Fresh Market because it's closer to see what they had. And the least expensive bouquet they had was still, I was kind of shocked at what it came with and how much it was. And I was like, I'm gonna challenge myself to see like what I would get for the same amount at Trader Joe's. And this is what I got. I got like these two kind of almost two like regular bouquets that I'm gonna kind of like take apart and rework, and then 2 fillers, all for the price of like one basically of these. Maybe it was a smidge bigger than one of these, but not much for the same price, which is just bananas. So what I'm trying to do, I grabbed all of, well, these 3 are the vases that I have. That's really something I need to, like next time I'm at a Home Goods or Salvation Army or something, check for some less expensive, just like plain vases. Because I don't love this one because it's so wide mouthed, like unless you put a ton in there, it kind of flops out. So I think this is actually a wine chiller, but I think I'm gonna use this. And I think that this will also serve well on the drink table because it won't topple over as much. Like it's super sturdy and I feel like that feels good to be over there. So my goal is to make 3, 2 kind of smaller ones for the drink table and then somewhere here in the kitchen, and then the rest of it, like the biggest one out on the dining room table. All right, I love how they turned out. So this is the kind of smaller one for the bar. And then this one I did mostly yellows. Well, not mostly, only yellow, but most of the yellows. I included 1 yellow over there, but I did all the rest of the yellows in here. This is for in the kitchen. It just felt bright and happy. And then this got the most of them and is gonna go on the kitchen table with all the desserts. This is the aftermath. Good morning, happy Saturday. It is housewarming day. We took a nice break from party stuff last night and went and saw Kimberly Akimbo's, part of our Broadway in Chicago package. I think I talked about that. It was cute. It was cute. I mean, it wasn't like the best show I've ever seen. I'm glad it was part of our package. I think we still may have like gone to see it because it did win Tony for the best musical, but we also looked up last night who it was up against, and like it wasn't the greatest season of new musicals. That was a killer revival season. We saw like pretty much all of the revivals that season, Sweeney, Parade, Into the Woods, but the new musicals that season weren't super great. Anyway, show's good. My hair is looking a little crazy. I washed it right before we left last night and then wore it in a clip to the show, and then like took it down when we got home, and it was obviously still wet, so I just slept on it, but I will get to that later today. We have a lot of stuff to get to today before everybody gets here, before my mom and Lila get back over here. So we each have a list. Sam has his list of things to do, like cleaning, just like random cleaning things that was super easy for me to pass off. And then I have some more like specific party prep stuff to do. And then the goal is to get all of that and get ourselves ready before my mom and Lila get here. And then when they get here, Sam's actually gonna take the car to the grocery store to grab the balloons and the ice. We're gonna feed Lila lunch and get her down for her nap. And then once Lila's down for her nap, my sister's gonna come over, and then me and my mom and my sister are gonna like, what's the phrase I'm looking for then? Bang out all the like actual food stuff. So that should be good. I feel like it's a good plan. I feel like we have plenty of time to get everything done without being like super rushed. So we'll see how it goes. I knew I wanted to carry this vlog into today because I wanted to show like the final setup. I don't know how much of that I'm gonna vlog today because I just need to pay attention and focus and get all the things done, but I will show like at the end all the things that we have set up to go for the house. And then it'll be party time. Focus on my nails. Okay, I was sitting down to do one thing on my computer, and I realized that I did at some point in this vlog want to mention my nails. They are so long, you guys. So if you watched the vlog 2 weeks ago, these are my nails from the wedding. So it was 2.5 weeks ago. It was Wednesday of the wedding week. And I know I raved about the nail place in that video, but y'all, there's no chips. Zero chips. The only issue is that they are so long for me. I know some people function. I was just chatting with Lila's swim coach yesterday, and they function with these beautiful long nails. I cannot. I was just typing, and it was so hard, but I knew that trying to deal with like also trying to paint my nails, worrying about the chips this week wouldn't be worth it. Like I'd rather deal with the long nails, and you can see, I mean, there's a good amount of growth. My mom and my sister go every 3 weeks, and they like, you know, they make it last, but they also both function with longer nails than I do. But it is so nice to have gel and not worrying about chips at all. I just don't know if it's an expense I'm willing to figure out, but it's been nice this week to not have to worry about it. But I'm also very ready to be done with these so that I can cut my nails. Okay, we're kind of at a pause on things, so the food is not quite done. But I'm just gonna go ahead and show you where we're at, and then we'll see. I'm kind of ready to like turn off the vlog and just relax a little bit. So here's the final setup of this little corner. So Sam went and got the balloons from the grocery store, and then we have our little sign. And all of I pulled out the koozies from our wedding. I said to Sam, I said, how many times are we gonna put these out at a party until they're all gone? Who knows? But everything is out and ready to go and all iced down. I also turned on the AC in here because it is already 1,000,000 degrees outside. This is the stuff that needs to go outside. The folding chairs, little folding tables. I had this bunch of balloons that I was planning to tie out there, but it is super, super windy today. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna take just like 2 of them and tie them out there and then put the rest in the basement. I wasn't planning to have balloons in the basement, but I mean, you might as well make that room festive too. Final dessert tray. I have the cookies covered up because it has our address. I know I've already talked about that. Flowers, brownies, and then another set of balloons. In this corner, they did not have any balloons that said like, I don't know, they didn't have anything that felt like new house-esque. So I did, like I was hoping for like a cheers or like, I don't know, but this is what we've got. They didn't have anything that felt more appropriate for housewarming. I also added balloons here. I think I mentioned I was gonna do that, but I added those just to make it pop a little bit. And then here's the setup in the kitchen. Again, we have not put all the food out. It's 1:45. Party starts at 3. So we're not gonna put out some of the cold stuff until closer to, but I feel like I need to just get this vlog clip done. So maybe I will have my editor pop up some photos of like the finished stuff at the end, because it's much easier for me to like snap a photo once it's done versus like, pull out the camera and vlog. So these are actually, I'm borrowing these from my mom, and we're gonna do cheese and crackers. Super, super simple. Like I got the cracker sampler from Costco, pre-sliced cheese and pre-sliced meats from Costco. And then as always, queso, if you know, it's literally Velveeta, except it's the cheap Aldi Velveeta chips. And then I have a bunch of other dips that are gonna go in these bowls. So we have guac, the corn dip from Costco, y'all. Don't sleep on it, so good. And then I got another dip did I get that at Costco or did I get that at Aldi? Oh, I think I got it at Aldi. Like a feta, some kind of feta dip. So I'm gonna put those in here. And then this is where the kitchen flowers ended up. This tray, also my mom's. The caprese skewers, the actual skewers are actually left over from my sister's birthday, if you watched that vlog. And she actually made these caprese skewers, and they just need their balsamic, but I wanted to do that closer to the end. This is sort of like the kids section. I have a toddler, I get it. I put the kids stuff literally in the corner on purpose because they're less likely to see it and ask for it. So we have little goldfish, the fruit vegetable pouches from Costco, and then I have some pre-cut fruit that's still in the fridge right now, but I'm gonna put those here, grapes, blueberries, and strawberries. And then last, we have Dots pretzels because yum. Oh, I don't know that I ever showed my cute plates. I got these at Home Goods. We were at Home Goods for something else, and I was like, oh, I really want to look for cute plates. And I couldn't find, we have a good number of people coming to this shindig. I couldn't find enough plates for like that I liked, that they had enough of the one design. So what I decided to do instead was like merge designs. And now they're also different sizes, which is nice. So people can kind of decide like, do you want the big plate? Do you need a medium plate? Do you need a small plate? But they're all from Home Goods. How freaking cute are these? I love them. And then this tray is gonna be pinwheels. So like ham and cheese, same thing. I can pop up a picture at the end. My mom actually rolled all of them already. Same thing, all the stuff from Costco. The tortillas, which the tortillas from Costco were actually too much. Like the proportions did not turn out. The tortillas were too much, but that's fine because we will totally eat tortillas. And then, Mom, what do we run out of first? Cheese or meat? Do we run out of cheese or meat first? Cheese. We ran out of cheese first. We got like the sliced like sandwich cheeses. They have like a variety pack, and then same thing, sliced meat. And we ran out of cheese first. So we made as many, and by we, I mean my mom made as many as she could until we ran out of cheese. I don't think there's a ton of extra meat, and we will definitely eat that. And same thing, we will eat tortillas. So those are in the fridge right now, like wrapped. So those still need to be cut and put out on this tray. And then last but certainly not least, also this beautiful tray from my mom that we borrowed. We're gonna do chicken salad sandwiches. So we bought chicken salad from Costco and then Hawaiian rolls. This may be too many Hawaiian rolls for the amount of chicken salad. We're just gonna make as many as we can until the chicken salad runs out, and then we will eat these too. So that, in fact, I definitely need to at least, I don't think we'll use all the Hawaiian rolls, but we definitely need to keep at least one not used because Lila will see these and want them. So that happened at Allie's party. She actually did her chicken salad sandwiches on little croissants, and Lila just wanted the croissants again and again. So that is the food plan. Whew. It feels good. I'm excited.
Also, I am all ready to go, but I am not dressed yet. I still need to do that. So I was kind of waiting until the last minute. But again, now we're kind of at this lull. It's again 1:45. Party doesn't start till 3, and the last kind of few steps here aren't going to take that long, and we have all 3 of us here, and I don't want it to all sit out, but maybe I will go get dressed now. But I'm gonna go ahead and close out this vlog here so that I can kind of turn into chill mode and relax. Okay, phone clip Laken here. Hopefully this music does not get copyrighted. Oh my God, okay, I'm gonna talk fast. The chicken salad to thing ratio works at about a 1-to-1. We ran out of chicken salad and had like 1 extra bun. We just sent my sister to the grocery store down the street to grab more chicken salad though, so we can make more. But just for future reference, if you're doing this, don't buy 2 packages of the Hawaiian rolls or buy a second chicken salad. Okay, one more thing. Because we have kiddos coming to this, I decided not to add the balsamic. People can add the balsamic themselves. That way, if kiddos want just the tomato or just mozzarella with no balsamic, they can, and adults can choose how much they want on their caprese skewer. So that is gonna be the end. Obviously, if you made it all the way to the end, comment below with the little house emoji. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every week focused on helping you achieve your goals. Thank you so much for watching. Does grocery shopping? Hold on, how do I explain this without sounding like a weirdo?